Hello, welcome to another video of this is not really ASMR, but it's constantly looking at it because I cannot film at a reasonable hour. Welcome to my channel where we break down, discuss, and recommend movies and TV shows and occasionally other forms of media. This segment is called Cinema Playlist, where I recommend movies and TV shows based on a theme. Last Cinema Playlist was exploring the dark side of beauty in the video Beauty is Terror. Now we're back in astrology, specifically everyone's favorite zodiac sign, Virgo. My love for astrology is irrational and a lot of the times unexplainable, but there's something that is not really science is pretty accurate. Like, scientists can talk all the smack they want about astrology, but I understand it more than scientific theories, scientific procedures, or whatever the trash they taught us in instead of how taxes work or how to get a house. But the biggest thing that drew me in is the mythological stories behind the zodiac, because I'm a sucker for the fantastical, which is why I also love films and TV shows. I thought it was a good way to mix both and share it with you, so here we go. Let's get into it. But quickly, here's the definition of astrology that I ripped off of Wikipedia. Astrology is the study of the movement and positions of celestial bodies, such as the sun, moon, and planets, and how it affects people in the natural world. It is a pseudoscience, so if you bring astrology to any person in the science field like psychology or marine biology, they're going to look at you like an uncultured swine and walk away. Now the deep dive in the zodiac sign Virgo. Virgos are born between August 23rd to September 22nd. It is a feminine sign, and feminine signs are receptive, magnetic, and have strong inner resources. It is the sixth sign in the zodiac and an earth sign. Colors associated with the sign are navy blue and gray, which makes sense because those colors just scream analytical and solid. Virgos are characterized as reserved, modest, practical, analytical, and want to understand everything. They have excellent memories, pays a lot of attention to detail, is focused, and believes that everything can be solved rationally. They are very hardworking and dedicated. They believe in work improvements and, of course, are famous perfectionists. Their ruling planet is named after the Roman god Mercury, who was the god of communication and commerce, intelligence, and reason. Mercury is the Roman equivalent to Hermes, you know, the one who has wings on their shoes to help them yeet themselves out of any situation. Yeah, that guy. Mercury is the son of Jupiter or Zeus and a random nymph, because Jupiter/Zeus is a lying, cheating sack of trash. Virgo is represented by a young woman or a maiden holding a sheaf of wheat. Therefore, Virgos are associated with harvest. They take what has been sown and planted like a seed, grow what they have into something useful and great. So the legend of Virgo is tied to the story of Prometheus and Pandora's box. So Prometheus and his brother Epimetheus are titans given the task of creating humans and animals. So Prometheus and his bro got busy. They were killing the game. They gave the animals all types of cool stuff like wings and claws. But when they finished with the animals, they didn't have anything for humans. We could have gotten wings. Epimetheus was like, hey, bro, can you go back to heaven and get more toys? Be a good boy, be a good sport, be a good bro. And Prometheus was like, oh yeah, bet. He came back with fire to give to humans, the dumbest choice ever. And fire made humans superior to all creatures. And Jupiter, chief of the gods, was like, oh, you done goofed. Jupiter punishes the Titan brothers, and then he was like, oh, I'ma ruin all your lives, and sent a present to Earth, the first woman, Pandora, which is supposed to be insulting towards women because it insinuates that everything bad that happens is the woman's fault. But really, it's a compliment. We have the power to create, and we have the power to destroy. Women are awesome. Get with it. Pandora came with the box and she opened that mofo up and unleashed the mother of all curses to mankind. Sickness, death, envy, and anger. Earth dived into a garbage dump and the gods were like, okay, bye, and dipped. The last god to leave was Astia, goddess of innocence and purity, and she became the constellation Virgo. And legend has it that when Astia returns to Earth, it will end all human suffering. Please come back, girl. We need you. So because of the sign's association with the symbol the Virgin, Virgos are misunderstood as prudish and stuck in the mud, which is mostly untrue. What it means is that their intentions and purpose are genuine and pure. They don't have ulterior motives for what they do. They just want to be the best at what they do and be useful to others. They really are the superior signs, which might be kind of crazy coming from me, a Libra, because I think Virgos and Libras, they don't quite get along. At the same time, Libras can get along with just about anyone, so be my friend. Famous Virgos include Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Gene Kelly, Stephen King, Zendaya, and Keanu Reeves. By the way, no spoilers for any of the movies recommended. Don't worry, I got you, fam. Before I get into the main recommendations, here are honorable mentions: Belle, Jackie, and The Black Swan. First movie I recommend is Gone Girl, made in 2014, directed by David Fincher. Gone Girl is a movie adaptation of the novel of the same name written by Gillian Flynn. The film is about a married couple, Amy and Nick Dunn. From the outside, they seem like the perfect couple, but in reality, the marriage is marred with resentment and deception on both sides. When Amy goes missing, Nick has to prove to the public that he is innocent of causing Amy's disappearance. This film ceases to amaze me every time I watch it. When I first saw it, it messed me up for days. The craftsmanship from writing, acting, and cinematography is impeccable. Amy Dunn is the epitome of the dark side of Virgo. A Virgo's talent can easily be used for nefarious actions, and they can get away with it. Amy orchestrated everything to near perfection until she got arrogant. But even when she falters, she bounces back immediately with her quick thinking. Amy is analytical, practical, and she has this terrible obsession of being seen as perfect. Like many Virgos, she is extra. The amount of time and planning she goes through just to prove a point, just for revenge, you have no choice but to be impressed. My lazy tail would have been like, you know what? Let's just split the bills 50-50 and get out of my face. And on a side note, I like how Gillian Flynn completely drags true crime culture. As a fan of true crime myself, it is a great drag. She completely drags the media for prioritizing white, mostly female victims instead of being balanced and also cover people of color who are also missing but are given little to no mainstream media coverage. Like, how many documentaries are about someone like Madeleine McCann compared to Relisha Rudd, which is zero. I'm not saying Madeleine shouldn't have documentaries about her. It's important to keep people informed on these types of situations, especially when there's a possibility of the crime being solved and saving someone. What I'm saying is that the same high energy given to those popular true crime stories revolving around white, more often wealthy, or at least well off, should also be given to people who are poor and or people of color. Flynn did a great job addressing the intersectionality when it comes to true crime. Amy got away with everything because she understood the tropes that's constantly brought up in true crime and uses her image as a beautiful white woman to her advantage, especially when manipulating the general public. God, I love this movie. Also, I looked it up. David Fincher is a Virgo, which makes perfect sense. Everything he does is just extra. Virgo, man, their dedication for perfection knows no bounds. This is the perfect Virgo movie, all the way down the line. It's precise, thoughtful, dark, and entertaining. Go watch the movie. Even if you've seen it already, go watch it again. Ex Machina was made in 2014, directed by Alex Garland. It is a sci-fi thriller about a man named Caleb who won the opportunity to travel to a secluded home and laboratory owned by his boss, Nathan, a technical genius. Nathan introduces Caleb to his invention, a robot named Ava, and allow Caleb the opportunity to test Ava and see if she is capable of consciousness. The film to me serves as a subtle sci-fi retelling of the biblical story Adam and Eve and explores the idea of creation and control, which relates to Virgos because they are notorious for being control freaks. But through their sense of control, they have grand motives to use their abilities for a greater benefit. Nathan in the movie has Virgo tendencies for godlike control, from his creation of Ava and his other robots to his meticulously high security home with a billion cameras for him to see everything like a god. Ava herself represents this virginal being that's very feminine with her soft voice, her receptiveness. Through her interactions with Caleb, you see her take in information about the outside world, analyze and manipulate her way out of her prison. The whole vibe of the film is so orderly and zen-like, which will do a Virgo just well because they are known for their coolness and collectiveness. And the film also feels very feminine as well, with this dreamlike and near sterile aesthetic. It's one of my favorite films, and it's probably one of the best sci-fi films. The Godfather was made in 1974, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. The film is based on the book of the same name, written by Mario Puzo. It stars cinema's greatest chaotic actor, Marlon Brando, as he literally BS his way into an Oscar win, and less chaotic but still great, Al Pacino. The film is about the Corleones, a powerful Italian mafia family. After the patriarch Vito Corleone suffers from an assassination attempt, his sons, mostly Michael, engage in a bloody power struggle against the other crime families. How the film relates to the Zodiac signs boils down to Michael and Vito, who I consider the light and dark sides of Virgo. Vito Corleone represents the better side of the sign. I know, he's a mob boss, but hear me out. He has the classic Virgo traits, which is hardworking, stoic, disciplined, and devoted. What sets Vito apart from his son is his warmth and generosity toward others. When Virgos love something or someone, they will tirelessly work to serve. People highly respect Virgos because they are the most trustworthy sign to fix a problem and give fair, objective judgment. It's shown in the iconic beginning of the film where everyone goes to Vito for help. He has a cool, calm authority, but without the generosity and warmth that Vito has, you have the dark side of Virgo that is presented by Michael, who is detached and disregards the lives and feelings of others. They will hit you with the "it's nothing personal, it's just business" real quick. Like the sign, Michael and Vito approach everything with logic and rationality, and hardly ever emotion. thinking with your emotions, hearts, or any of that soft stuff baffles a Virgo, and they think you are an idiot. You see that with Michael when people around him allow their emotions to overtake them. He is very unresponsive and dismissive, but a generous and sympathetic Virgo. Like Vito, when you cry or get emotional, he won't dismiss you. He gives you a boy, if you don't stop all that crying. Then he assesses the problem and immediately solves it because Virgos don't dwell on problems, they fix it. Next we have 2001 A Space Odyssey, made in 1968, directed by Stanley Kubrick. The film is about a group of astronauts who go on a space mission to investigate a mysterious black block. How that black block got there? Your guess is as good as mine. Their spacecraft is controlled by an AI named Hal. Hal is fine until he realizes, you know what? Humans are kind of trash. And Hal is kind of right. So Hal takes over and tries to kill all the humans on the ship. Low-key, Hal kind of has a point, you know? I mean, because sometimes humans just suck at everything. They can't be trusted, you know? Gotta get the job done. You know? Fair. Every shot is meticulously designed, which is to expected because it's Kubrick. Kubrick does not miss not one detail. He'll get that shot even if it means doing it 127 times. I'm not going to lie, even though the film is great, it's an acquired taste. It's long and moves at a snail pace, but the film is revolutionary and broke so many rules and innovated special effects. Like, these special effects still holds up today, and it's so good that there is a long-lasting conspiracy theory that the moon landing was faked and directed by Kubrick. The film is about discovery, venturing off into the unknown, and evolution. Virgos love obtaining knowledge. They want to know everything. They will not make a decision until they have all the facts. They are very objective. Like how Virgos have very little trust in people, and when they think they are right, they're not gonna hear nothing you got to say. It doesn't matter if you have the best argument in humankind, a Virgo will not be with it. They make definite, calculated choices. Like how they have difficulties being in tune with their emotions. Everything comes from a place of logic and rationality. Virgos need to learn how to let go once in a while and trust in faith. Their need for order and precision can limit creativity and inspiration for a new direction. Because of Hal's code calculation, the astronauts on the spaceship are limited, and they have to destroy Hal in order for them to move forward and make new discoveries. Under the Skin was made in 2013, directed by Jonathan Glazer, and starring Scarlett Johansson. An alien poses as an attractive woman to drive around Scotland and lure men to be abducted and harvested for something. While she's not on the clock, she wanders around trying to make sense of the human experience, like relationships, nature, food. She experiments with almost everything. As said before, Virgos have a strong desire to understand. They love exploring different subjects and observing. The alien character, when she's observing, comes across as cold and detached, which is a thing with Virgos. And when she acts on the job of luring men, she acts with efficiency. 9 times out of 10, she coerces these men to get in her suspicious van that should have rang so many alarm bells, but it's Scarlett Johansson and her character mostly targets men. Guy logic. The entire movie is about guy logic. Oh yes, this suspicious looking van. Oh sure, I'll get into it. Pretty woman that looks like Scarlett Johansson? Of course I'm going to. Guy logic, bro. Like the movie should just be called Guy Logic. Of course they would do something like that. And credit to the filmmaking. When you find out that she's an alien lurking around for more prey, and you see the end result of her catching them, your anxiety skyrockets and you're screaming in your head, "Boy, run! I don't care! She looks like Scarlett Johansson! Run!" My black senses are tingling. Don't go into that van. Homecoming, made in 2019, directed by Beyonce and Ed Burke. It is a documentary about Beyonce's iconic performance at the 2018 Coachella. She takes you behind the scenes on planning and practicing for the performance. Of course, I had to include everyone's favorite Virgo, Beyonce. What's so great about Beyonce and why she is not overrated is because she always strives to outdo herself. She never slacks off. She puts all of herself in everything that she does, from family to her artistic vision. Her ambition knows no bounds. I support anyone that puts their all into something, anything. When you watch the documentary and see how hard she works, is inspirational. I'm just like, yes, I'm going to get up and demolish everything. I can accomplish anything if I put in the work. She makes putting in hardcore work look so good. The level of work that woman put into her art, and people have the gall to call her overrated? No. To me, my definition of overrated is someone who don't deserve it but get too much attention. Camila Cabello is overrated. The Kardashians are completely overrated. Beyonce deserved everything she got because she worked hard for it. What we're seeing is hard work simply being rewarded. Everything associated with the sign is here. The documentary is well edited, and it's nice to see an intimate portrait of Beyonce. She keeps her life under wraps, which is on brand for the Zodiac sign. Virgos keep their business to themselves and are more reserved to the point of being considered shy. Virgos are not really shy, they just don't let people in easily and are picky on who they associate with. But when they deem you worthy of opening up, it's always something special. That was it for movies. Now we have TV shows, and the one that I chose is Hannibal. In honor of Benito Skinner, we have the TV series about the iconic, psychotic serial killer Hannibal. Hannibal is the backstory of Hannibal Lecter when he was a psychiatrist and formed a partnership with a criminal profiler named Will Graham to catch other serial killers, while Hannibal Lecter himself is doing what Hannibal Lecter does. This is a great show for people who love thrillers and the macabre. The atmosphere and aesthetic is so eerie. Acting is great, especially by Mads Mikkelsen. Mads Mikkelsen? Do I have to say more? Like, I can just drop his name and then boom, I sink your battleship to this bay. End of story. In the show, every detail matters to a disturbing level. Everything about the show is extra. The cases they have to solve are beyond anything. These are some overachieving serial killers. They put so much time, effort, and detail in their debauchery, and the amount of brain power required to solve these cases is unmeasurable. Brain power that only a Virgo has, because they are so great at calculating and thinking objectively and doing the near impossible because they can. They don't need no permission. They don't need your help. And if they do, they ain't gonna let you know. They're just gonna get it done. They're done and they're moved on to something else. It is a great cerebral show that just keeps you on your toes and freaks you out. Well, that is it for recommendations of movies and TV shows based on the zodiac sign Virgo. If you have other recommendations, then please comment down below. If you want more videos like this, then please hit subscribe, hit the bell for notification for more videos. I'm going to believe in myself for once and rule the world. See you later.